Hello and welcome to our first 5 minutes to change the world and our first ever Facebook Live. Over the next fortnight, we're going to be looking at stories from students and people from across the Gloucestershire region who are actively working for a more sustainable future. And we're going to be exploring how we can all collaborate for change. My name is Miriam Webb and I'm the Sustainability Engagement Manager at the University of Gloucestershire. And in my 5 minutes today, I'm going to be exploring the role of universities in building a more sustainable future. I'm going to share a few examples of things we're doing here at UoG, and I'm going to invite you to share your thoughts on where we should go next with our sustainability programme. So whether you're joining us live or on catch-up, please share your thoughts and questions, just pop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer at the end or to get back to you if you're watching on catch-up. So to start my 5 minutes, I'll cut to the chase. The world's leaders have not always made the world's best decisions. So whether that's continuing to plough billions into the fossil fuel industry or being bystanders to brutally unacceptable levels of racism and inequality. Here's a question for you though. Is this their fault? Or could this be the fault of an education system that's made them this way? Here's a thought from Zamzam Ibrahim, who is the president of the National Union of Students. She says this: "Our schools, colleges and universities are education factories, more interested in preparing us to pass exams than developing us as critical thinkers and global citizens. We are assessed on what we can remember rather than what we can do with that knowledge. Our education system teaches us to compete with our rivals, not to collaborate with our friends. We are led to believe that sustainability is a niche subject, not something that is fundamental to everything we learn and do. Our education system teaches us in silos, despite the fact that everything is connected. Our universities are judged by what our starting salaries are, rather than the good that we go on to achieve. We leave education with so much debt, we feel obliged to apply for the best paid jobs, rather than the ones that will really make a difference. The whole system, not just the education system, but the society in which we live, indoctrinates us to prioritise short-term profit over long-term prosperity." So, according to UNESCO, only around 3% of the world's population goes to university, but 80% of societal leaders have been to university. So universities clearly have a history and a potential to be reinforcing all of the world's problems. The question for us is, how do we radically transform the system so that our graduates become part of the solution? So let me introduce you to something we call the footprint-brainprint analogy. So you've probably heard before of reducing your footprint, maybe reducing your carbon footprint or perhaps your ecological footprint. We look at the footprint as the doing less bad stuff, if you like. So that could be, in the case of universities, things like reducing carbon, managing our waste and recycling properly, travelling in smarter and more sustainable ways. On its own though, reducing the university's footprint isn't enough. If we're still teaching our graduates about, in a model of education that's founded on limitless economic growth and teaching them that it's okay to put profit above people and the planet. And that's where something called brainprint comes in. And that's kind of about the doing more good stuff. So we have something called Education for Sustainability. And that kind of is to counteract that approach of teaching the wrong type of education. And basically, in a nutshell, Education for Sustainability, or EFS for short, is a type of education that doesn't just teach people to become subject specialists in design or media or geography or business. And it doesn't just teach people about sustainability issues either. It goes further than that to helping people to develop the skills to apply that knowledge and to create real change. So the killer question on your lips right now is probably, well, what does that look like in practice? So let me give you a couple of examples of things that we're doing here at UoG. First of all, our Learning Innovation for Tomorrow or LIFT programme, and secondly, our Live Smart programme. So our Learning Innovation for Tomorrow programme helps and supports our academics with funding to work with their students to embed education for sustainability into the core curriculum. So a quick example, our events management students, one of the things that they do as part of their course is to design and deliver events. And a couple of years ago, one of those events was to do little pop-up events for families at the Cheltenham Jazz Festival. And the theme of those pop-up events was the Global Sustainable Development Goals. But the purpose wasn't just to read up on the goals and to share that knowledge with the general public. It was, they were assessed also on how they were applying sustainability through the whole event design and delivery process, and also about the skills that they were learning as events management professionals, and how they could then go on and apply those sustainability skills in industry. But education for sustainability doesn't just go through the curriculum space. You know, learning and applying sustainability skills kind of ripples all through life here at the university. And that's where something called our Live Smart programme comes in. And Live Smart was designed and developed by our students to make connections between people's immediate concerns, things like saving money, boosting well-being, connecting with their communities, bigger picture sustainability concerns like protecting the planet. So through a mixture of challenges and events and top tips, our students kind of help other students to be thinking about the bigger picture sustainability issues in a day-to-day sense. Now, there's lots I could tell you about our sustainability work here at the university, but this really is, we really do only have a few minutes. So I want to leave you with two key questions, and I would love to hear your thoughts. So the first question to you is this: what do you think of our sustainability work here at the university, and where do you think it should go next? And the second question, maybe particularly to any kind of businesses or community groups out there, what are your professional skills needs in sustainability, and how would you like to work with our students and courses to help you develop those? So that's kind of it from me today, a very short introduction to our approach to sustainability here. Before I have a quick look at any kind of comments and questions, I want to give a quick plug for tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got Anne Cranston going live at 12:30, and she is the head of projects at Gloucester Cathedral. So we'll be looking tomorrow at what sustainability means for one of the most historical buildings in our region. So I'll stick around online for a few minutes now and answer any questions. I'm just going to have a quick look through some of the comments, and I know we had a couple of questions in advance as well coming on our Instagram channel. So I'll have a look through those and stick around, and as I say, I'll get back to you if you have any questions kind of when you're watching on catch up as well. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, so first of all, I will kick off with a question that we actually had come in on our Instagram channel, and that was from Maddie. And Maddie was wondering about the whether or not everyone was aware of the Teach the Future campaign and the charity SOS UK. So I will, let me just there we go. So yes, so I think that, so first of all, to anybody that doesn't know, SOS UK is the sustainability charity of the NUS. So the NUS had a sustainability team, and they went on to become kind of a subsidiary charity of the NUS, and that was to enable them to work sort of a bit more broadly as well on sustainability, because NUS focuses primarily on kind of higher and further education, and what SOS UK is now able to do is to work with the whole of the education system, like right from when you start school all the way through. And Teach the Future is a campaign in partnership with the UK Student Climate Network, and it's really about repurposing the education system around the climate and ecological crisis. So quite a lot of the things that I was talking about today, really. And so in terms of levels of awareness on that, I think when the SOS UK charity launched, there was sort of particularly in the sustainability professionals group, if you like, there was certainly a lot of messages that went around, and I think there is quite a good awareness in terms of sustainability teams that know about the work that SOS UK does, particularly through Teach the Future. But perhaps more broadly than that, the campaign is still growing. I think the important thing to say about the Teach the Future campaign is that it's led by young people. So it's supported by SOS UK, but the group of employed people running it are actually people between the ages of 13 and 18. So it's very much the youth voice that's leading on that one. So let me just see if there are any other questions. No. Okay, so I think those are the main things for now. But obviously, if you do have anything further that you would like to talk about, then by all means do. I've got a question from Yolanda. Can you say anything on John's appointment and the plans for the sustainable development following on from that? Okay, that's an interesting question, Yolanda. So here at the university, we've got a sustainability team, or a very small sustainability team, actually. We've got a director of sustainability, and then we've got my role, and kind of the counterbalance to my role, if you like, is our sustainability operations manager. And we've just had a fantastic new colleague, Dr. John Furley, join the team, and he kind of leads on all of our operational sustainability stuff. So if you like, he's the footprint part of the equation, and Alex and I kind of work a little bit more on the brain print part of the equation. But he's got quite a lot and quite a good and exciting job on his hands now, looking at what the net zero agenda means for us as a university, and how we take that forwards next year. We've also got a couple of paid students who have been working with our team this year, and they really help us to kind of keep the focus on the student agenda and what it is how students want to see us take our work. So, we're always interested to find new ways to reach those viewpoints from our students, our staff, and from our community groups. So if after today's live video as well you have any thoughts, please do share those. So just quickly checking. Great. Okay, so I am gonna finish up, but as I say, do keep asking your questions and comments, and we can. We've got a question. We've got a thanks. Okay, thanks, Helen. Yeah, it's really great to join you today, and I'm sure I will join you again soon. Okay, so bye.